Jill here.
Howdy.
Welcome to the House Academy Show, entertaining real estate investment talk. I'm Steven Jack Butala.
And I'm Jill Dewitt, broadcasting from sunny Southern California.
Today, Jill and I talk about how current market stats support massive foreclosures at the end of 2020.
Again. I'm so happy to be here.
What is it about this type of show that just you're not into it?
Well, I read this stuff. I do this stuff. You know, it's just painful for me to talk about. You know, I'd rather read it, get the answers, and move on. It's like you revel in it. There's things
I do.
See, that's the thing. It's just me.
I revel in it.
See, you
need to know why.
You roll around in it.
Yep.
You love on it. You spend your day on it, and
I
that's
do.
okay. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's just not me.
It's
this
just
is why
because it's so profitable.
We're a good team. This is why I have you, and there's a reason why you have me. You and stats don't talk on the phone, don't communicate, you don't send emails. I do with my properties and the sellers
So
and
what
the
do you
buyers.
think, like, just for fun here, what do you think this show should, how would you write this title to make it, a huge topical interest for you?
Oh,
Just,
using
yeah,
the same topic, same.
Like, we know that, we all know, and we'll get
Okay.
into it here in a second, but we all know.
Here's what I would write. The end is coming. Don't miss it. Don't miss the boat. End is coming. Don't miss the boat. P.S. Stats will tell you when.
Oh my gosh. Oh, so you just want to make everything a little bit more cute.
Yeah. Well, but then I would still talk about it like that. I would still say, look, I don't need to bore you with the details. I will cut to the chase.
And then what's cut to the chase for us?
Watch what happens in fourth quarter or
And you
whatever.
don't want to tell them you don't want to tell them why you got to this conclusion?
No, they
or-
trust me.
Oh my God, Jill.
I'm just kidding. You know what? You too can read the 161-page report I posted, or you can listen for 10 minutes.
Okay. Well, let's, we'll do
Remember
make
the
it
Wall
cute
Street
then.
Journal? Remember how
It's still like that.
I know. I should get that, darn it. I should get a subscription to the Wall Street Journal online, because I remember, seriously, as a kid, I ordered and got the Wall Street Journal paper because I loved it. Who doesn't love 60 words or less about the topic? And I think, didn't they have a thing in there too, where it's like, I'm sure there was a page and it had every state listed, and there was one paragraph.
That's USA Today.
Okay, that was it.
But they're
Never mind.
both similar formats.
I like the USA Today version of that too, where it's like every state, one paragraph about what's going on.
You know that both of those papers are written an 8th grader, it's written in 8th grade English.
Why are you telling me that?
Just because I think that's how people understand stuff, me included.
I did not know that. That's an interesting piece of
The
data.
Wall Street Journal was way, way older. I had a buddy who used to say, when people asked him what he did for a living, he said, I'm a photographer for the Wall Street Journal. And people would say, oh, that's cool. Because if you've ever read the paper once, and I don't know if this is still true, there's no pictures. It's just drawings and etchings.
I love that. Oh, I'm going to use that one. That's really good.
He said like 95% of the people would say, great, man, that's awesome.
That's
that must be a cool job. But then the 5% are it's a crack up. Just like you reacted.
That's good. I'm totally going to use that one. I love it.
Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the houseacademy.com online community. It's free.
Byron wrote, hi, I got a signed offer back in. I'm still confused about what the BOG does. Things are really moving in this area. Should I do it myself?
Okay, let me uncrypt this question.
Okay.
Byron probably sent out a bunch of offers to buy people's houses, probably for about 60 to 80% of what he thinks the retail value is right now. He got one signed back, obviously thinks it's probably a pretty good deal, and he's using BOG here. It's an acronym for boots on the ground. And so what we teach in our program, in the House Academy program, is to get somebody, or do it yourself, that does all the work. So you brought the deal in, you either have the financing or you're going to put the financing together in the form of a partnership or hard money or however you do it to buy the house for cash. Well, turns out there's a lot of stuff to do, like go through the house, meet the inspector there, look at the turn the utilities on and off. There's just stuff to do. Probably meet with the seller you have a signed contract. You really need to go meet with the seller, sit down with a cup of coffee at their table and say, this is how my process goes. I'm glad you agreed to the price. Is there anything crazy going on in the house? So there's a lot more stuff to do than there is with the land deal, just because of the real estate aspect of it. So there's pros and cons with land and houses. Houses can be, I call it just hitting single after single after single, 20 to 40,000 bucks over and over again. And with land, you can, as Jill described yesterday, you can hit stand-up doubles and triples regularly, money-wise and percentage. So his question is, he's confused about what the BOG does, and I think I answered that. Go ahead.
I want to add, like, the BOG, you should be the decision maker and the check writer, and the BOG is just doing all the taking care of all the ons and ends and all the physical stuff. So if you do it right, that's like we do it. We can buy and sell properties easily in other states because the BOG is the one doing everything on the ground. Heaven forbid that the weeds need to be trimmed or something like that, whatever. The BOG will actually physically go do it or hire somebody to do it, kind of thing. That's really their job.
My test for it is, if you're leaving your desk, when I get up from my desk, it better be to get a sandwich or something, but it better not be for business reasons because it's inefficient. This is all businesses, whether it's, a pizza place or buying and selling real estate or anything. So a lot of people in the beginning of their career have a tough time with that because they're so used to micromanaging everything. And so you need to spend more time at your desk hiring or finding the right boots on the ground to do all this work and cutting them in on the deal. And it's a lot. I'm making it sound easy. It's hard. They're doing the stuff that a real estate agent is supposed to do. And in fact, I would start. But if you need to find BOG, I would actually try to get a real estate agent, a good one, who's proven themselves in the market and proven themselves by their completed sales in the market recently. Because they're probably going to know what to do. They will know if they need a locksmith and all that stuff. And
they'll know how to stage a house.
And perfect, Jill.
That kind of thing.
And if you end up listing it, which we are more and more often doing, then that's part of it. But
I would do that.
But there's a lot of real estate agents, the vast majority of them, who have the same concept that I do, that they don't want to leave their desk, and that's not who you want to hire. You want a busybody, totally social, constantly on the phone, go-getter with a proven track record. So I'm not saying that's the only place to do it. We've had very successful BOGs that are real estate agents and very successful ones that are IT people. They just love the real estate part of it. But you have to love the real estate part of it, which I don't. I love the data part of it.
We understand that.
Should you do it yourself? I think I just answered that. Emphatically, no.
Yeah.
But you might want to, the first couple of deals, do it yourself.
I wouldn't mind.
Then you can decide that you don't ever want to do it again.
Well, if you did a couple just to get your feet wet and understand the process and create your own system, get to know the inspector that you like and things like that. So that way when you do have your BOG, you can hand them a checklist and say, here you go. I just did 3 of them. Follow these 10 steps.
Right.
Done.
Today's topic, current market stats support massive foreclosures at the end of 2020. This is why you're listening, if you're not Jill.
Exactly.
Here's the deal. I'm going to throw one stat out there. There's a million stats that I can throw out there. I'm going to make this crazy simple, and then you decide for yourself. 30% of the people who have mortgages in this country are either in forbearance or foreclosure at this moment. And it's, what's the date today? June 25th, 2020. Let that sink in for a second. 30%.
That's a lot.
50% of the houses in this country have a mortgage. Oh, I guess it's not going to be one stat.
I would like to point out what you just said. This is what sings to me. 50% of houses have a mortgage. I always pick out the positive. 50% of them don't have a mortgage. People often are shocked by this when we talk about houses. We send out offers to buy houses where there is no mortgage, and people go, well, who are those people?
Yeah.
And I say, Tell me about your parents. Oh, they paid
yeah.
off their house 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm like, duh.
Well said, Joe.
Well, they're on my list. They're like, oh gosh, I guess you're right. Hello. There are so many people out there, So this is not what this show is about, but one of the great things about houses is there are a lot that are paid for. You don't even realize how many. So when we send out these offers, we really are dealing with the person. We're not dealing with the bank. And that makes me so happy.
How many houses are there
In
the country right now?
I like this.
95 million. There are 95 million. Oh, I guess that's the third stat. So 45,
I guess.
45 million or 46 or a very close number to that. Half of 95 have a mortgage, and 30% of those, 30% of 40 is 10, that's 25. So about 12 to 15 million houses are not paying. They didn't pay this month. Steve, how do we identify these properties? Well, I'm glad you asked. And do you want to single those out anyway? Because the bank, you're going to have to deal with the bank on that.
This is true.
So there's a lot of ways to skin this thing.
This is true.
My data way, and it's been proven since the early 90s, is to send everybody a letter who doesn't have a mortgage and let them figure it out themselves. Talk about efficiency and not leaving your desk. You send out 10,000 letters, it's going to cost you like $5,000. 10,000 letters, you're going to buy 3 houses ish right now. If you make $25,000 a house, which is a low number, you spent $5,000 to make $75,000.
I can do that.
That makes sense. Okay. The statistics are only getting better and better and better for us house and land investors. These numbers they're getting worse and worse and worse. And it's not, those poor people can't afford it.
The house numbers. Oh, what's happening to the foreclosure and stuff. Got it.
And it's not a version of this. Those poor people, they lost their jobs and they can't pay. That is certainly part of this, and that's terrible. But what you're doing is saving them from going through a foreclosure process, or if they are of the right mind to receive help, your help, then in exchange for some equity in the house. So, it's a positive thing. What's really going on, in my opinion, this is not even close to one stat. It's a lot of stats. What's really going on is that the people on the TV...
I'll be over here.
The people on the TV told you it's okay not to pay your mortgage. Yeah. It's okay to say, I'm in forbearance and I'm not going to pay my mortgage for a few months, even though I have a job. I'm going to just tack it on to the end of my mortgage. It's fine. Believe me, it's not going to be fine. It's so much more expensive to pay all that interest for, let's say, 15 to 30 years.
Who wouldn't want to have an easy out, not have to deal? I look at it that way. If it was me and the writing's on the wall, hey, baby, we're going to hang out at this house as long as we can. I'm not sure what's going to happen to our credit. I'm not sure what we're going to get out of it, if anything. I'm not sure about the situation, but we're going to ride it out. And it's going to be paperwork, phone call, nightmare.
So this is all going to end, to wrap this topic up.
I wouldn't want
forbearance,
that.
and I agree with you on a personal level.
Yeah.
This forbearance, right now, the federal government has issued instructions to banks that it's not okay to foreclose on properties. They put I don't know what the correct legal term is, but it's a stay.
A moratorium
a stop.
or something.
Yeah, a moratorium maybe.
Yeah.
And so people are living in their houses for free indefinitely right now until the people on the TV say, no, it's okay for you to foreclose now.
Would that be Ernie and Bert?
A deluge, waterfall for massive foreclosures. Probably, I believe personally that this administration is waiting after this election. They can't lose. This administration can't lose by saying, you don't have to pay your mortgage right now. Vote for me. And then so if they win the election, they can say, see, I'm awesome. You don't have to pay your mortgage. If they lose the election, the person who takes over in early of next year, is going to deal with that decision. So it's a no-lose situation, and probably if you're into that kind of thing, good politics. No, I don't care if you're right or left. It's really hard to argue with trying to win an election. That's what they want to do. So who wins in this? Us.
Us listening.
Us. Land investors are in-house investors. Mm-hmm. So get your investors in order, get get yourself educated about how to send these mailers out because
Yep.
it's coming. You know, and our numbers are our land. I call it mailer yield, and beyond mailer, you know, for X amount of offers you send out, you get a deal. Not only is our mailer yield up, but the amount of money that we're making per deal is dramatically up. And this is going to stop for at least 24 months. I think for houses, it's going to go on a lot longer.
Thank you. I side note, I'm trying to imagine. I got to say this. We're talking about this. You talk about the people on TV and what they tell you to do. I would like to see Ernie and Bert. No, I'm not kidding. Like, I think we should like
Talk
come up
about
with
their mortgage?
Yeah. or give advice to each other about what to do. Yeah, that would be so funny. You know. Could you
Wow, that gets me
imagine?
thinking.
Can you imagine a whole Sesame Street all about foreclosures or what's coming or something, or just talking about their mortgage?
What if we got puppets made out of you and I? How funny would that be? Like Muppets.
Can we
And
do
we did
that?
a whole course.
Who can do that? Who do we
I'm
know?
sure of it. If you're a puppet maker, please email me.
Please let us know.
We'll do a whole show like
Oh, we'll do a puppet show. That would be. Would that not be funny?
that. It'd be a good change up too.
Do a little. Oh, I would.
For the
think,
7 people who listen to this show, that would be real entertaining.
all right, now I'm into it. I'm totally into it. We'll maybe that'll be our Friday shows, or we'll do our regular, and then the Friday shows will be the puppet version of Steven and Jill talking about it in Sesame Street form.
You know what? Actually, I think this would actually be good for
I
our
think we
numbers
would
and
like
a little bit
that.
entertaining.
That would be really good.
right, I'm gonna write
Like,
it
what'd you buy this week?
I can get puppets made of us.
That would be cool. Thank you.
I always give myself stuff to do.
This is so cute. Happy you could join us today. Every Tuesday and Thursday, we are here on the House Academy Show, at least this week. And Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we are on the Land Academy Show.
Tomorrow, the episode on the Land Academy Show is called Why We Have Stopped Yelling at Title Agents to Close Faster. You are not alone in your real estate ambition. I'm going to listen on this show. Then tomorrow, I'm the listener.
Okay. And not yelling at title agents results in not yelling at each other.
Of all the stuff that we could dream up about yelling at each other, title agents is like the last on the list.
Exactly. We're both on the same page there. The House Academy Show remains commercial free for you, our loyal listener. So wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening, please subscribe and rate us there.
We're Steve and Jill. Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.